asbestos
Wow.
or
We have
substances you're not supposed to, but then I take the back.
Gosh, she's
All
a pretty
right.
little girl.
I want to welcome everybody to the commission meeting tonight. I would ask if you could please silence and turn off your cell phones and remind everyone that our meetings are televised for viewing every day on Channel 2 at 6 p.m. at midnight and also YouTube. We'll go ahead and kick it off with the Pledge of Allegiance followed by a silent prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. All right, we got a couple of proclamations here. Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Well, good. Whereas 1 in every 4 women will experience domestic violence during her lifetime, with approximately 15.5 million children exposed to domestic violence every year, and whereas when a family member is abused, it can have long-term damaging effects on the victim that also leaves a mark on family, friends, and the community at large, and whereas domestic violence is widespread and is devastating to society as a whole, and the problem crosses all economic, racial, gender, educational, religious, and social barriers, and whereas the crime of domestic violence violates an individual's privacy, dignity, security, and humanity due to the systematic use of physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, and economic control and abuse, and whereas victims should have help to find the compassion, comfort, and healing they need with access to medical and legal services, counseling, transitional housing so that they can escape the cycle of abuse, and domestic abusers should be punished to the full extent of the law. And whereas we encourage domestic violence victims and their families to seek assistance from the Alliance Against Family Violence Hotline at 913-675-7217. And whereas it is important to recognize the compassion and dedication of the individuals who provide services to victims of domestic violence. And whereas the United States President, Congress, and other agencies have expressed a commitment to eliminating domestic violence, and we must dedicate ourselves to protect vulnerable members of our society with local programs, state coalitions, national organizations, and other agencies to increase public awareness of domestic violence and to eliminate it through prevention and education. Now, therefore, I, Griff Martin, Mayor of the City of Leavenworth, Kansas, hereby proclaim the month of October 2024 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month and urge all the people of Leavenworth, Kansas to work towards the elimination of domestic violence.
I just want to say thank you guys for your support and our continuous battle against domestic violence. Obviously, everybody knows it's ongoing. We're doing what we can. I just want to say that I appreciate you guys and thank you for this.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Okay, Military Retiree Appreciation Day. Whereas military retirees have served our country faithfully in times of peace and war, and whereas military retirees have made significant sacrifices in defense of our freedom and liberty, and whereas a large number of military retirees and their families live, work, and play in the Leavenworth community, and whereas the Fort Leavenworth Garrison will conduct a Retiree Appreciation Day on October 26, 2024. Now, therefore, I, Griff Martin, Mayor of the City of Leavenworth, Kansas, do hereby join the Fort Leavenworth Garrison in recognizing the contributions, sacrifices, and loyalty of military retirees in our community by proclaiming October 26, 2024 as Military Retiree Appreciation Day.
Yeah, I would. Honorable Mayor and
City Commissioners, thanks for inviting me today, and thanks for this proclamation. We retirees are certainly considering ourselves very fortunate that we're here in Leavenworth County and not Florida on this day. But, this is a great place to live. We've sent out over 18,000 pieces of mail. We figure there are a lot more retirees in the area besides 18,000. Our mailing lists aren't always accurate, but still that's a pretty good number. And these people are here, they decided to live in this great county of ours, the city of Leavenworth and Lansing and Basler and all the other places, because they're great places to live. It's a great place to raise a family, and we certainly appreciate all that you do working in the government and in the public sphere to make it that way. Our special day is on the 26th. It's up on the fort. It'll start at 9 o'clock in the morning. So if you're free, please come. If you know a military retiree, we try to get the word out through social media and our flyers and whatnot, but we don't always do a great job at that. So if you know a retiree, encourage them to come. We're especially trying to get the younger retirees to show up. We have a lot of people like me that show up that are in their 60s or 70s or whatever. We really need to get those retirees that are 40 and 50 and 60 to show up to these things. It's going to be a great day. We started off with a health function where people can get flu shots and also screenings. We'll have the garrison commander talk about updates that are going to occur on the installation. We have a new hospital, Munson Army Health Center commander. She will be there to answer questions. And then we have several breakout sessions. One of the breakout sessions concerns what do you do when your military spouse dies. You'd be surprised how many people don't know what they do. And so we've got a checklist format for that, and we will run through that. We have another one on TRICARE, which is the military health program. And then we have Brigadier General retired Stan Cherry, who got extensively into the caregiver mode this past year with the passing of his wife Ellen. He's going to talk about caregiving and hospice. So I would encourage once again all the retirees to show up and attend. And once again, I want to thank you all for inviting me here tonight and honoring the military retirees with this document. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Mr. Gretchen.
Okay, we'll go ahead and move into old business, consideration of previous meeting minutes from September 24th, 2024 regular meeting. If there are no questions, we just need a motion.
I move to approve the minutes from September 24th, 2024 regular meeting.
Second.
All right, motion's been seconded. We'll begin voting with Commissioner Bowder.
Aye.
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 Aye. Ed?
Commissioner Hingula?
Aye.
All right, motion passed 5-0. Second consideration ordinances, item 3, number 8252, special use permit to allow child care center at 1830 South Broadway Street.
Mr. Mayor, Commission, this is before you vote for second consideration. There have been no changes or comments since the first reading, and it's ready to proceed if you are.
Okay. Other comments? Anybody?
No?
Okay. Then we'll go ahead. We'll do a roll call vote. Commissioner Hingula, if you could, I guess we need a motion.
Commissioner Hingula votes aye.
Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem Bittman votes aye.
Mayor Griff Martin, aye.
Leavenworth City Commissioner Wilson, I vote aye.
Bowder, aye.
All right. 5-0. Okay, moving on to public comment, new business. Sarah, anybody
We
tonight?
don't have anybody.
Okay. Then we'll go ahead and move to general items. 4, consideration for cereal malt beverage license for Fast Track at 3122 South 4th Street.
Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, before you this evening is a request to approve a cereal malt beverage license for the owner of Fast Track located at 3122 South 4th Street. Previously operated as the Minute Mart, the establishment has been sold and a new cereal malt beverage license is required for the new owners to offer for sale cereal malt beverages. The new owner has submitted the appropriate application for an off-premise consumption cereal malt beverage license for their location in town, which would mean the off-premise license means that the cereal malt beverages can be purchased at the location but not consumed on premises. The police department has reviewed and approved the application, so tonight we're here requesting approval to issue the license. And as well, if you have any questions specifically for the owner of Fast Track, he is here this evening.
Okay, thank you.
How you doing, sir?
Fine.
Did
you
you want
have
us to come up and
anything
say
to adopt?
something? You don't have to. You can if you want to.
It's no problem if we have any questions. Does anybody have any questions?
No. Just welcome new business. Happy to have you.
Thank you. Commissioner Hengela, any questions?
No.
Okay, then we just need a motion.
I move approval of the cereal malt beverage license for Fast Track at 3122 South 4th Street.
Second.
Okay, motion's been seconded. We'll begin voting with Commissioner Hengela.
Aye.
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 All right, motion passed 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, item 5, bids, contracts, and agreements. Consider award of bid for audit services.
Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, the issue before us today is consider the engagement of a certified public accounting firm to audit the city's 2024 financial records, including the financial records of the Leavenworth Housing Authority with the option of 1-year renewals. The CPA firm Hood just finished a 5-year assignment. They basically were approved for 1 year and then 4 1-year extensions, all of which they executed. In those 5 years, I was the finance director for 2 of them, and the previous finance director did the previous 3 financial statements. It is our policy to solicit audit services every 5 years, and we prepared a request for proposal and advertised it in the paper, and we also sent it to 12 area CPA firms, of which we got 3 responses. We had a review team that consisted of me, the deputy finance director, and the assistant city manager, and we reviewed all 3 firms, and they're very, very similar, and really the only only factor that was different was price. And Hood was about $5,000 less expensive than the closest other firm. So based on the results of the review, the review team selected Hood and Associates to present to you this evening. You can see that there is an all-inclusive maximum fee for the audit of the city's financial statements of $46,050, and for the single audit, which is an audit of federal programs, of $5,020 for a total of $51,070. The audit of the Housing Authority is included in the audit of the city's financial statements, but in addition to the audit of the Housing Authority's financial statements, we have to submit a form through REAC to HUD, and their services include submitting that form. So they have to get online and enter all the information. And they bill that to us in an hourly rate. Last year, that was 32 hours. Their rate will be $150. I expect them to spend a little less than 32 hours on this next year because it gets cleaner and cleaner every year. But assuming it's the same, that would be $4,800 for a total of $55,870. We have $75,000 in the budget for financial services in 2025. About $69,000 of that was for audit services and $6,000 for other financial services. So the price that Hood has quoted is within the amount budgeted for the 2025 financial statements. So the staff is recommending that the City Commission authorize staff to award the contract for 2025 audit services in the maximum amount of $51,070, and the 2024 REAC submission service in the maximum amount of $150 an hour to Hood and Associates CPAs PC. If y'all have any questions, I am more than happy to answer them.
So this, the all include, I'm a little confused on what we're voting on here. We're voting on just this year or for the 4-year?
We are voting for just this year.
The other is just for information?
Right, so they do have, the bid includes the 4 1-year renewal periods. But we probably, since it's over the 50,000, we'd probably bring that back every year just for an approval. I wouldn't take it back out to bid.
Okay, got it.
And that's who you used before was Hood, correct?
Yes, and I would recommend, it is good practice to change CPA firms periodically. I have only worked with Hood for 2 years, and I have learned a tremendous amount from Michael Keenan, the partner in charge. And it's just now getting, let's say, smooth. So I don't recommend switching audit firms this year. I do recommend in 5 years that you seriously consider switching audit firms. If you do want to switch audit firms this year, the second one, Allen Gibbs Hulick LC would be the ones that I would recommend. They're in Overland Park. They have, they're in Olathe, and they do have a lot of Kansas municipality experience. It's $5,000 more. At the end of the day, you're going to get the same product, which is an audit. But if, it is for internal control purposes, if you feel like 5 years is long enough and you want to switch, then that's your prerogative. But I believe that it best serves the city to continue with Hood for 5 more years.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool, thank you. Anybody else? Commissioner Hingela? Take that as a no? Yeah.
I don't think he feels good.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you, Roberta. Appreciate that. We just need a motion.
I move authorizing staff to award the contract for the 2024 audit services in the amount not to exceed $55,870 to Hood and Associates CPAs PC for our audit.
Second.
Okay, motion's been seconded. We'll begin voting with Commissioner Bowder.
Aye.
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 All right, 5-0. Thank you, Roberta.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 6, consider approval of 2025 landfill services contract. Mr. Faust, good evening.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. A little bit of background on our trash services. The city has operated a municipal solid waste collection disposal since the late 50s. Each year we dispose of approximately 11,500 tons of household waste and about 5,000 tons of special waste, which is our sludge and grit from our wastewater treatment bank. The city has been using waste management in Shawnee since January of 2019. In extreme weather conditions and to address staffing shortages, the city will occasionally haul to the Leavenworth County Transfer Station. There have been numerous times during the week that the county's transfer station is unavailable to accept our waste. The rates at the transfer station are also significantly higher. They're currently at $64 a ton. In 2025, the cost to dispose of the household waste at Waste Management is increasing from $31.80 a ton to $33.39 a ton, roughly a 5% increase, while the cost for our special waste remains unchanged. It's $56.04 a ton. When evaluating our options for 2024 and 2025, Waste Management proposed both a 1-year and a multi-year or 3-year contract with annual increases based on the Consumer Price Index. Staff, as you know, is currently evaluating kind of our long-term plan for disposal of our waste. So we feel it's appropriate to look at the 1-year option from Waste Management. The budget impacts for this would increase our budget for our municipal solid waste, $18,285. So staff does recommend the City Commission approve the 1-year contract with Waste Management for refuge disposal. The cost for 2025 are $33.39 a ton for municipal solid waste and $56.04 per ton for special waste. And we'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you.
How often do we use the Leavenworth County Transfer Station? Do we just use it for emergencies?
If a lot of times when we've been short-staffed, driving down to the Shawnee landfill and back can take upwards of 2 hours.
Yeah.
And so from a timing perspective, it's quicker to go to the transfer station. But there's numerous times a week we call them that they can't take our waste. A lot of that's associated with they have hands hauling for them, and depending on hands having trucks available to haul to the hand landfill. And so we're told they can't take it. So it happens very frequently.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions, comments? All right, Commissioner Hengela, any questions?
None, pretty clear to me.
All right. Okay, I don't either. So with that, we just need a motion.
I move to approve the one-year contract with Waste Management for refuse disposal. The cost for 2025 of municipal solid waste and $56.04 a ton for special waste.
Second.
Okay, the motion's been seconded. We'll begin voting with Commissioner Hengela.
Aye.
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 All right, motion passed 5-0. Thank you. All right, Commissioner Hengela, we're going to move to the consent agenda.
Ready? I move that we approve claims for September 20th, 2024 through October 3rd, 2024 in the amount of $2,460,801.04. Net amount for payroll number 19 effective September 20th, 2024 in the amount of $432,092.26. Includes police and fire pension in the amount of $7,491.38.
Second.
All right, we have a second. We'll begin voting with Commissioner Bowder.
Aye.
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 Okay, does it for our main items. We'll go around the horn.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioner, I wanted to do a first announcement. The October 22nd City Commission at 5:30 will be the reception. If you might recall, the Daughters of the American Revolution is going to donate the plaque to the city of Leavenworth. And so we will have an unveiling of that plaque, and there'll be a small reception in the Light Court. So I'd like to invite you all to be here a little earlier in a couple of weeks for the October 22nd Commission meeting for that unveiling of the plaque. Otherwise, that's it.
Thank you. All right, Commissioner Hengela, any comments tonight?
Yeah, just a couple of things. I was pleased to attend the Leavenworth County Historical Society's Buffalo Bill Western Dinner Dance on Saturday evening, and it was a great time to be had by all. Lots of great people in great costumes, and I'm grateful to everybody that came out to support it. The other thing I'd like to mention is that this Saturday, the Leavenworth County radio-controlled model airplanes fly-in is this Saturday, beginning, I think it's 11 a.m., out there just off of, out there by the old landfill in Lansing. And the president of that club came and invited me and everybody else here, everybody else on the commission, to come out and attend and see what they're doing.
Okay, thank you.
Couple things. We got a letter here from Jerry Freichen, who is the father of Christine Freichen, or Chris, who ran the 5K event for Camp Leavenworth, and I just want to give her a special thank you for all that she did. Everything from a lot of behind the scenes. She's my neighbor, so I went and saw her big organized piles of greatness. But she did the sunflowers, the t-shirts, the registration, all the way up until the night before. So I just want to thank her on behalf of all of us for doing the behind the scenes thing, because I think she might have gotten overlooked when we were giving out thank yous. The next thing is we're having a big Jeep Rev Rock Festival here in town this weekend. So that's going to be Saturday at the Haymarket Square, and I think there's going to be a lot of Jeeps in town if you like Jeeps, and you're supposed to bring little ducks, I think, to give to the Jeep people. I'm not really sure. But also this weekend is the Leavenworth High School is doing their Academic Hall of Fame. And they're doing their big ceremony, and it's homecoming, so there'll be a parade downtown on Friday, and then lots of activities around homecoming. So lots going on this weekend, so I hope someone out there can join one of the activities.
All right, thank you.
I've been gone, so I don't know, I don't have anything really. I was sorry to miss the Camp Leavenworth. It sounds like it went
missed
really
you.
well, and I hated to miss it, but anyway, it's nice to be home. It's fun to go to the Northeast, but there's no place like home.
No place like Kansas.
That's right.
Click the hills.
Cool deal.
Question, trunk or treat. city trunk or treat?
Yes, sir, it's coming up. Off the top of my head, I'm drawing a blank,
The
but it's coming
19th.
up soon. I'll send you something first thing in the morning about that to remind. And that'll be at Sportsfield Park.
Yep, and then just prayer for the families of Florida's, as many families having to evacuate. God bless, keep them all safe, and God bless you to the city of Leavenworth and the cities in our community.
Yeah, Bella's coming home.
Oh, is she?
yeah.
Wow.
That's good.
All right, and nothing for me tonight. Hope everybody has a blessed week, and we'll see you next time. That, I just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.